Welcome to Flight 2191. I'm your host and pilot. Please remember to buckle up because you're in for a wild ride. Top Gun Maverick dominated the box office when it came out, and it's still continuing to do so even now, as it's now the 5th highest grossing film in the American domestic box office, and for good reason. It's pretty damn good. It's not that it's a very compelling story or anything, it's just that it's a really fantastic spectacle. It uses practical effects, real jets, it's shot beautifully, has some Hans Zimmer production, and for those who like it, a bunch of dudes topless on a beach. This could have all gone down the drain thanks to this one movie. Top Gunner Danger Zone. No, I didn't say Top Gun Danger Zone, I said Top Gunner Danger Zone. They're different, obviously. Well, maybe not obvious to the people who bought this and thought that it was going to be Top Gun Maverick. The company that made this, The Asylum, loved to capitalize on creating and releasing films that are strikingly similar to hugely anticipated films and releasing them just before that hugely anticipated film is released. Such as Thor, God of Thunder, which is a copy of Thor, Love and Thunder, Planet June, a copy of June, and Jurassic Domination, which is a copy of... You get the point. Top Gunner Danger Zone, unlike that trash Top Gun Maverick, is a cinematic masterpiece. This work of art could have brought down everything Tom Cruise and his team had worked on for years. The CGI, the script, the acting, they're all meticulously crafted into this 1 hour and 20-minute long film that feels so fucking long. I was legitimately going mad. I was pausing this movie every 30 seconds to write down the dumb shit that was going on in this film. Not one scene goes by without something incredibly stupid being said or done. Even in the scenes where not much is happening, they still somehow find a way to inject stupidity into the scenes. For example, they edit in these out-of-context reactions into some of the scenes, such as when a man checks the overhead compartment, Edna from The Incredibles freaks out. Or when a man gets out of his seat to go to the toilet, it concerns some passengers. He's going to the toilet in the middle of a flight? He's going to kill us all! This movie is a jumbled, erratic, thrown together mess. This is no exaggeration, but I'm pretty sure that this is the worst film that I've ever seen. And I'm sure, unfortunately, if I keep making videos like this, I am going to end up saying that sentence again sometime in the future. But for now, king of the worst. So by copying Top Gun, you'd think that this movie would be all about jet fighting, right? It's on the cover, it's in the name, even the opening scene is a jet fight. Well, by this lead up, I'm sure you know that I'm about to say that you'd be wrong. The jet fighting stuff is about 6% of the film. This film is actually about an explosive on a plane. But that doesn't stop them from trying to inject some jet fighting into this film as best as they can. When the first scene begins, we're thrown straight into the beautiful CGI action. There's no warning. They don't get us in the mood. There's no foreplay. They don't even have the decency to use any lube. So the action starts with these two fighter pilots in a dogfight with an unknown jet who's trying to take them down. Pilot Demon is being locked on by this unknown jet, whilst Pilot Banshee is behind that jet trying to take it down. But she can't seem to shoot her missiles. Demon tries to eject, but he can't even do that either. Demon gets blown out of the sky, and Banshee sees her longtime partner get blown out of the sky and die. And understandably, she takes it really hard. Wow. What a performance. So I know the movie raw dogged us straight into the action and didn't really explain anything, but for all your sake, I'm gonna explain a little. There's an AI system that helps control the jet that's called Hattrick. Hattrick stopped Banshee from being able to shoot her missile, as well as stopped Demon from ejecting from his plane. Because... reasons. I don't think AI or even a computer can forcibly stop a pilot from ejecting from the jet. There are chemicals under the seat that literally blow the pilot out of the jet. But we'll give the movie a pass on this one. There are plenty more illogical scenes in this film to look forward to. So get your candles, massage oil, and Barry White album ready because we're in for a long night. 10 months later, the FBI, led by Special Agent Rico Dietz, raid a cult operation run by a group called the Pavdection. They shoot their targets and look for illegal happenings.
Brass crucifixes, Byzantine. These guys are definitely Pavdection, all right.
One of the men that they shot is still alive.
Hey, this guy's still breathing.
All right.
Hey, what's your name? Where does it hurt?
It hurts around the places you shot me, you fucking asshole.
He's been shot in the shoulder and the arm.
And the chest and the heart. This guy's a fucking Terminator. They quickly realize that the room is full of explosives and that the two men were targeting something with the number 2191. And so they begin racking their brains of what this number 2191 can be. As they search the room for clues, they find altimeters.
Found these. Aneroid altimeters. They measure altitude.
I found a light bulb. It lights up. I found a brush. It brushes. I found a heater. It heats. They eventually work out that the IED, the explosive device that these men were making, is somewhere on a plane. When they ask the suspect where it is, he starts to speak in code.
And they have my deepest sympathies. Even though sinful deserve some compassion. It's those who do no harm to others in their iniquity that I pity most.
Dante. That's from Dante's Inferno.
What?
But Agent Smith, no, unfortunately not that Agent Smith, this Agent Smith recognizes that he's quoting from Dante's Inferno because, as luck has it, he wrote a dissertation on Dante's Inferno.
I've been thinking about it. The numbers 3, 9, and 10 are the most prevalent throughout Inferno. The poem is in 3 parts. There are 9 circles of hell. The poem is 145 components. Add those up, you get 10.
All right, so what did you come up with?
Nothing.
That's great.
None of the math adds up, no matter how I think it over. But what if I'm overthinking it? Then it hit me. Canto 1.
What? It hit you in like the 2 seconds between thoughts? Did the film just skip 10 minutes without telling us? We're not talking in the past right now. What am I gonna have for dinner tonight? Then it hit me. Chicken. By the way, this Dante's Inferno bullshit that they're talking about is not really relevant to the film. The poem was written in 1300, so if the plane goes over 1300 feet, that's when the bomb is armed. Apart from that, it's purely just filler, and as we'll see, this movie is full of it. The cult, the Dante's Inferno thing, it's not mentioned throughout the rest of the film. It has no bearing on the rest of the film. It's purely used just to make it look like this film has some sort of substance at all, which I can tell you with confidence, after watching this film 100 times, it does not. And they do plenty more of this stuff later on, as we'll get to. For now, we're taken to Flight 2191, where we're introduced to our protagonists. Vanessa, a flight attendant, Tony, the air marshal, and former army sergeant Taylor Garrett. He gives his first class seat to a random man who is obviously over anxious because he didn't buy an aisle seat instead of the window seat.
Excuse me, stewardess. Look, I hate flying, okay? I cannot sit by the window. I am terrified of heights and I get claustrophobic if I can't get up and move around like I need to. And
Yeah, let me see what I can do about finding another seat.
the aisle seat.
Yes.
The aisle.
I hear you. I understand.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Miss, is 1B on the aisle? So I don't mind switching.
Well, you're in first class.
Does it matter?
You really switch seats with me?
Yeah, I'm happy to.
It's just too bad that airlines don't let you choose your seat, and that they charge more for an aisle seat, and that those 2 sentences are untrue and completely contradictory to one another.
By the way, thank you for giving up your first class seat for that passenger. You did him and I a big favor, so thank you. It's very kind of you.
Don't mention it. In that event, when you've flown 5 hours in cattle class on a C-130 bound for Kabul, 9 hours in coach is a welcome luxury. Army.
I didn't ask for your life story, sir.
Retired. Flying down to San Domingo to walk my daughter down the aisle. Yeah, she always wanted to get married on the
I'm
beach.
gonna leave now. Our air marshal sits and observes a plane and sees a very shady man walking. And we know that he's shady because he has his hands in his pocket and is wearing a baseball hat. To avoid flying through the storm, the pilots decide to leave a little early. They get clearance to do so from New York's JFK Airport Tower and they head off. Meanwhile, Rico calls Frank Wolf. Frank Wolf? Wolf. Leader of the aviation office, who has magic powers answering phones without pressing the answer button.
This is Frank Wolf.
Mr. Wolf, this is Special Agent Rico D to the JTTF New York office. We have credible evidence that there's an airliner with an IED outbound of New York today.
What are you talking about?
He just said it, dude. The FBI realizes that this Flight 2191 is about to take off, so they try to contact JFK Tower. Unfortunately, they get this woman, who, after hearing that a bomb is on a plane, is relaxed as all anything and takes her time to relay the information to the plane.
191 has reached decision speed. It's too late to abort.
That is 137 tons of aircraft moving at V1 speed. You can't just hit the brakes on that. No, the pilots have to continue takeoff at this point. If they don't, they're going to overshoot the runway, jeopardize the airplane and the passengers.
You know, don't worry that JFK Airport is surrounded by water, and doing a risky landing in the water is safer than the alternate option, blowing up the fucking plane. But instead what happens is that she snatches her colleague's headset, tells them to maintain 1,300 feet, but ultimately they have to go higher or else they're going to hit a building. So ultimately, the bomb is armed. Vanessa lets Air Marshal Wilkes know that there's a bomb on a plane.
We're looking for a suspicious item.
Now, I just want to say that these two actors, I don't know if they knew that they were going to be in a terrible movie. They probably did because they have been in other asylum films. That's forgivable because it's hard to find work as an actor. But I do want to say, especially this Michael Paré guy, are pretty good, considering what they've been given. That's not a joke or anything. That's a legitimate endorsement. I thought I'd say something nice for once. They begin searching the plane for the bomb. Rico and Smith find the footage of the boarding, which is pretty interesting because I didn't realize that security cameras are handheld.
Wait, play that back.
Nothing happens. This kid adjusted the bag on his back, but that's it. It's so stupid of me, but I did actually look for something in this footage. It was like looking for Wally in Where's Wally when there's no Wally in the drawing. So that was a waste of time. Rico calls Wolf again. Rico calls Wolf again, and Wolf answers with his magic power again. Rico lets him know that they used the AI to get the bomb past TSA. You know, the AI that was made to fly a jet. It's like saying the autonomous driving AI in a car can make a fucking chicken casserole. It can't just do that. It's not magic, dude.
Our suspect initiated the tech, made for sure the plane took off, and then he left. Their techs think it might have been some kind of military-grade AI in order to commandeer such an advanced security system so quickly and accurately. Unfortunately, our tech who initiated everything died of a gunshot wound less than an hour ago.
So this guy who went there, initiated the tech, waited for the plane to take off, went back in time, got shot by the FBI, is on the floor talking to Rico while the plane takes off, and then dies. Oh, no, wait, he's the Terminator, sorry. Sorry, that makes sense now. Of course he can go back in time. Rico and Smith decide to visit one of the makers of the AI tech, Banshee, our emotional fighter pilot from before. Unfortunately now, after what happened at the start of the movie, she's now an alcoholic.
I'm Special Agent Rico Dietz. This is...
Special? What makes you so special? You know those two guys I talked to earlier, they were special. Bet your partner here is special. Tell you something, Rico. If everybody's special, then nobody is.
Fine. It is truly incredible how monotonous this actress is in her performance.
Trying to overthrow that son of a bitch they got in charge over there. Their so-called president. Our task. The man is a sadist. A butcher.
I'll save you the pain of watching that scene. It doesn't improve. But basically what's happened is that they found the AI tech from the wreckage of the partner's plane, and now they've utilized it for their own use. Which is crazy because obviously the tech doesn't work. It didn't let her shoot a missile at the enemy, and it didn't let him eject from a plane. But the AI that is designed to fly a jet that doesn't work properly can get a bomb through TSA baggage check. Right. She also says that it's the Volodrexans who stole it. This is a made-up country. But obviously it was the Pavdeksham cult from before, because they're the ones who put the bomb on the plane. So was it the evil Volodrexian government, or was it the Terminator cult? You gotta decide on one. Anyway, they convince her to fly again, and her and this other dude take the jet to escort the plane. Vanessa and Wilkes decide that having Sergeant Garrett on their side would be advantageous. So off they go to search the plane. They ultimately decide that it's likely in the baggage area, so Wilkes and Garrett head there. I can't imagine that it would be too easy though. 285 passengers on board, each with their own luggage. It must take them a long time.
Whoa, what is that? What did you just pick up? You smell that? It's acetone.
Or it could be the fourth bag that they look at. Now I know that they found it really quickly, but what would have helped them is if they were listening for the very loudly beeping bag. Then they would have found it first try. So here's an example of all the filler bullshit that they put into this.
What kind of signal is it emitting?
No, it's not emitting, it's detecting signals. They set it up as a trigger for the IED.
That's the trigger. Where's the signal from?
Well, it's reading electrical signals from LVDT and RVDT sensors. I saw this all the time in Kabul when we were patrolling Helmand province.
Slow down a little bit. I'm trying to...
They're electromechanical transducers. They convert rectilinear motion of objects into electrical signals. Aircraft like this are full of them.
I'm sorry, do I have to know about the rectal part? You're not going to do anything to my rectum, are you? I'm sure what they're saying makes some sort of sense, right? The writer probably felt really smart putting all these army and flight and Dante's Inferno references into his script. But I have an idea. Start with making a coherent fucking script.
So that box, it detects the electrical signal.
Yes.
Why didn't you just say that? All this gibberish and terminology that your audience can't follow can make them feel stupid or bored or uninterested. And so as an audience member, you switch off. The movie is terrible enough. Please just save me the bullshit.
What parts of the plane with these sensors aren't being used?
No, they're all in use.
Since this thing has become active.
It's a landing gear. It's got to be the landing gear.
Because they work out that it's the landing gear, they know that they can't land right now. But if they landed in water, they wouldn't need to use the landing gear. Just saying.
Whoa! Tony, don't move! Oh, no.
Did they just kill the actor? That couldn't have been CGI. That looks so real. He's gone. Michael Pyre is dead. They just killed him. They just killed the actor. Wait, let me check. Was that real? It wasn't real. So it was CGI. That was real? That looked real. That was CGI? That didn't look stupid at all. That didn't look fake. That didn't look stupid at all. That didn't look like the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in a film. That must have been real explosion. How'd they get the real explosion? How'd they make it look? How'd they make the look? How'd they make the explosion look so real? No, that wasn't CGI. That wasn't them putting a little, that wasn't them getting footage of. And the movie makes sense too, like he just grabbed a bag and it exploded. Like, this movie just makes so much sense. Considering they're flying through a storm and with all the turbulence, I can't believe it didn't explode beforehand. That's crazy. This movie is insane. How's this movie so logically, how's this movie so good at what it does? And it made sense. He just so happened to pick up a bomb when the turbulence goes and he exploded. That's so likely because the plane's been rocky the whole flight. It makes total sense. Okay, I'm alright now. Taylor ends up disarming the first bomb, and that's the end of the movie. I wish. There's a little mistake here. Well, I mean, the movie is full of mistakes. The movie is a mistake, but they end up showing the back door opening, which was for Taylor to throw out the bomb out of the plane. But they haven't even gotten to that part yet. Sorry, spoiler alert. Taylor's bag is made of Kevlar, so he cuts it apart to make himself a bomb vest. He finds safety glasses from somewhere and gets a scarf to make himself a babushka? You're carrying a bomb, mate. You're not feeding your grandchildren. If you can't tell by now, the budget for this movie is about 3.5 cents. And what I've noticed is that they like to reuse footage a lot. Not only of the passengers, but of the CGI planes too. Oh yeah, the planes are CGI, if you haven't noticed. I know they look really good, but they're fake. So around this time in the movie, Mr. Wolf gives Special Agent Dietz a call on his lock screen. I don't really know where Dietz and Smith are or what they're doing, but I know that they're not at the airport because they're on a call to Mr. Wolf, who is at the airport. This is important later, I promise. Rico calls Vanessa to give her some information on the organization behind the attack.
Hello, this is Vanessa Jensen.
Miss Jensen, this is Special Agent Rico Dietz of the FBI.
This is Special Agent Rico Dietz with the FBI.
We received a manifest from Coastal Air.
We had our office cross-reference every name on here.
Peter Gurin.
He's part of an international hacktivist collective called Peanut Ravioli.
With all the bullshit that they're talking about with the fucking Dante's Inferno and the airport language and the FBI, IED, UTI, tract infection sort of shit, you think that they could have come up with a better name than Peanut Ravioli. Even the actor's like, what the fuck? Dietz tells him that the shady hack guy is part of the Walnut Tortellini hackers group, so she stops him from going into the lavatory with his laptop. He says that the government of his country he's fleeing is targeting the plane because he has incriminating evidence against him. Even though they said at the start of the movie that they're targeting the plane because of the number 2191 and its significance to the Bible. Okay, there's two reasons now. He doesn't want to go back to New York because they'll fine him, but she doesn't believe him and she confiscates his laptop. At the same time, two unknown jets piloted solely by the AI hat-trick are coming to take down the plane. You know, the AI that... doesn't matter.
There's nobody in it.
There's nobody in it. Here's my next line in the script. Here is my line that comes after that line in the script. So a lot of stupid things happen in quick succession. I'll do my best to lay them out. The AI jets start to attack the plane. But that's okay because pilot Mish uses her evasive maneuvers to avoid the missiles. Evasive maneuvers that an F-18 fighter jet designed for air combat couldn't avoid. Easy. You can definitely do evasive maneuvers in a commercial airline. But they do shoot through the window. The AI is so good now that it shoots just the pilots, but not any of the electrical equipment of the plane. It doesn't even do any damage to the plane. And even though they were shot through the window, there's no air coming into the cabin, even though the plane is flying at 800 kilometers an hour. Not even a little draft. At the same time as that, Taylor throws the bomb out of the plane and just so happens to hit one of the AI jets. We're not done yet. The other pilot with Banshee, I don't know his name, I don't give a fuck about what his name is or anything like that, sees that a missile is heading towards the plane, so he valiantly flies his own plane into the missile so it doesn't hit the airliner.
Oh my god. It's gonna hit that plane. There's nothing they can do. They're just sitting ducks. Banshee, finish this fight.
So now that the pilots are dead, they need to land the plane.
We have to land the plane!
I don't know how to fly a plane!
Look, I don't either. We don't have a choice.
What are the chances that you know everything about a plane except how to fly it? They jump on the comms with the JFK Tower and are given instructions by her. But not for long because she tries to get them to nosedive to their deaths because she's a part of the evil cult.
You're gonna crash the plane.
What did you say? Give me that phone!
Or the evil government. Or whatever evil thing that they decide to make up next. But she's quickly arrested by... Dietz?
Kim Janice, you're under arrest.
No! Let him crash!
Where the fuck did he come from? This dude's fucking Goku teleporting everywhere. She gets arrested, so now the guy who kept getting his headset snatched gives them a real detailed instruction on how to land a commercial airliner in the middle of a storm.
Just hold the yoke steady and keep pulling up.
I'm not ready for this!
I'm sorry, you landed the plane by pulling the fucking yoke up? You did the thing that's literally the hardest thing for a pilot to do in their job by pulling the yoke up. You just landed a commercial airline with no formal training in stormy weather by pulling the yoke up.
This is yours.
Oh, and look who teleports into the plane. Special Agent Super Saiyan Rico Dietz, as well as our jet pilot, Banshee.
That was some good flying you guys did up there.
Oh, we had some help.
We're natural born pilots, I guess.
That's what we do. Pilots fly.
Yes, that is definitely something pilots do. Pilots definitely fly.
You're all free to go. We're gonna put him on a flight to DC within the hour.
Diaz lets all the passengers go home, and he also lets our protagonists Vanessa and Taylor go home too, because why investigate a terrorist attack, right? Why interview everyone on board who's a potential suspect? Why not just let them all go home? They already landed a commercial airliner in a storm with no formal training because the plane was targeted by AI jets who were targeting this one guy, but were also targeting the same plane for its numerical significance. AI that was made by the US military that didn't work in the first place, that was repurposed by some cult who made it all work, but also repurposed it to get a bomb through TSA. The whole movie totally makes sense. The whole movie totally makes complete sense. You know, I'm honestly amazed that it didn't take anything away from Top Gun Maverick. It is definitely one crazy ride that you wish you'd never got on. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go rest now for my sanity's sake. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. You can also check out some of my previous videos which also covered bad TV and movies as well. And I will see you next time.